right, welcome into the Vegas Squares podcast, Picks and Chatter edition. These are our NFL picks, or our NFL six, as sometimes we like to call them, because they make us sick trying to pick them, and then they make us sick watching them all go down in flames. So, take them for what you will. Like Spike likes to disclaim on his picks. How do you say? Fade me or fade me? The choice is yours. What's up, Spike?
Yeah, after that nothing burger I put up last week, hopefully this week will go a little bit better.
Yeah, and then we got Token Tony, who currently sits in the lead of our year-long contest.
Boo!
Yeah, I don't feel so great about that either. But I'm feeling a spark this week. Token, you got your anti-game picks face on?
Something like that.
Yeah, there's something on your face, I can tell you that. I don't know what that is, but
there's a lot of shit coming out of my ass, so.
Why? Why does that... Why
I opened up the door for that one,
I
though.
mean, that's...
That's my fault. My fault. My bad. I'll take the L on that one.
Fucking verbal diarrhea is enough. I don't need it.
That's true. And the man always shows up to the podcast looking the fanciest.
Oh, yeah.
And he speaks the nastiest.
Full suit and tie.
Yeah, full suit and tie with a tie bar, which very underrated in professionalism. I don't know. Do you wear? What do you wear to work?
No, I just wear polo shirts and khakis or slacks or whatever. But nothing. I never have to wear a tie.
See, I wear.
He's like Jake from State Farm or something.
Yeah, pretty much.
What are you wearing?
Khakis.
She's hideous. Well, she's a guy. Yeah, I have to wear a suit and tie to work, and I see a lot of guys in my industry and my profession who don't wear the tie bar, and you got the back half going this way and the front half going that way, or who knows. Anyways, underrated piece of accessory towards a suit. So now that we've turned you off completely because we weren't talking football.
Welcome to the Male Fashion Podcast.
Yeah, welcome to Straight Eye for the Straight Guy. Like I said before, this is our NFL Picks and Chatter edition, where we are going to pick every single game on the NFL slate this week, with the exception of Thursday nights. We want to thank our sponsors, 12 Ounce Sports Radio. We want to thank VGK Pop Sockets, and we want to thank ChaiPoker.com for all their continued support. And before we jump into the games, I know that there's a lot of questions surrounding the first game in London that kicks off in. Well, depending on if you're listening to this online, it kicks off in a few hours, or if you're listening to this on 12 Ounce Sports Radio, it has just kicked off. So we're going to talk about that game a little bit before we dive in, but let's go over to Spike, kind of give us a rundown if you're new to the podcast, or if you've forgotten, or if you're completely drunk right now, tailgating before the games. Give us a rundown on our season-long bet with these picks.
Everybody loves that early morning buzz, getting going before the full day of football. And then
my cup of tea for the London game.
Yes. Let's Irish up that whiskey for it.
What kind of tea is that? A Budweiser.
So anyway, we're doing a year-long football contest where we're picking some side of every game, whether it be against the spread, whether it be a money line, or whether it be the total. We are getting 1 point for every game we get right. We lose a point for every game we get wrong. And then we also have a lock of the week, which is 3 points either way. We also have something called a blind bet, one of those games where you really don't know how it's going to go. You get 2 points if you get that one right, 0 points if you get it wrong. Through week 7, well, I will say in week 7, Aaron and I both put up nothing burgers, just could not get anything going, finished the week at 0. Tony actually put up a 4 for the week, so not bad, Tony. So the total right now, I am sitting at plus -4.
I love how you try to put a positive spin on that. Legitimately, positive spin.
Trying to make
it's on the up and up. It's on the up and up.
Just it's not going.
You're
great.
making second half adjustments.
Yeah, I had 2 weeks that were just brutal and may have cost me the entire season. Aaron is in second place right now with 16 points, and Token Tony is in the lead with 19 points.
It's a long season there, Token. Don't go gloating just yet. I remember when I couldn't miss for a week and went up to 20-something points, and I said, it's a long season. We're gonna probably regress back to the mean on that.
I'll try not to tear my ACL while I'm celebrating.
Yeah, exactly. Way to go, Fuller. All right. Well, without further ado, you've heard the rules. We're going to make picks on all the games, and we're going to give it a shot. Some of them we may be on consensus on. Some of them we may be all over the board on. But nevertheless, we are hard pressed to make a pick on this one because we're getting updates by the minute. And let's travel overseas to London. We've got Philadelphia. We've got Jacksonville. Right now, what I see, the news is Philadelphia is a 4-point favorite. The line has jumped up 3 spots. The total has jumped up 3 spots to 44. So you got Philadelphia -4. You got 44. You got 68% of the action going in on the Birds right now, and that could be for a number of reasons. 1, because you like Philadelphia. 2, because you believe Blake Bortles is a liability to the Jacksonville Jaguars. 3, because you aren't sure what's going on with Jacksonville's defense. 3 out of 4 potentially starting defensive backs have been ruled out for this game. And 4 out of 4, you also hear about defenders for the Jacksonville Jaguars now getting arrested at a London nightclub. So, for whatever reason you bet this game, we salute you at this point. There's so much going on. This is a hard one to take. No, you know what? Token Tony, you're in the lead. How do you say it in golf?
Your Honor?
Your honors. Yeah,
Yeah.
Honors to golfer 1.
No, so this one, whoever has it available still.
Yeah, it's true. It is going off
Yeah.
in some spots. It has been talked about on covers as being off potentially at the Mirage because of the amount of handle they're taking one way. But you never know. That could be a key. That could be a key day for them if
everything goes their way.
Yeah, because we're not going to sugarcoat it. Everything seems to be going Philadelphia's way in terms of the betting market. So if they shut it off, maybe doesn't give people a chance to come back in on Jacksonville, which is obviously what the book would want to do, is to come back on even. But at the same time, if they shut this thing off and Philadelphia's got all the handle and Jacksonville somehow comes through, it could be a big day for them.
Absolutely, yeah. This one, I really like Philadelphia, especially with Jacksonville's 4 defenders possibly out, if not even more. I mean, I even like the total as well. I think it going up makes me like the under even more. I think with Jacksonville having 4 or 5 defenders possibly out, I still like the under. I don't think Jacksonville can put up too many points. I think Philly just gets the job done. They win this game 24-14.
Oh, woohoo! A score prediction. Spike, your second half adjustments begin now.
Yeah, and this is a game that is just so weird, and I just kept going back and forth on the line before I even knew about the Jacksonville defenders being out. I'm with Tony a little bit. Actually, Tony, I didn't even hear what you actually picked on this.
I think he picked the under. I wasn't. Yeah, you're right. He picked Jacksonville.
He said he liked Philadelphia, but he liked the under.
And he also liked Jacksonville, too.
Yeah.
I like Philly.
Philly
what?
Minus
4.
Minus the 4?
Minus the
Okay.
4. Okay.
Minus for the 4, yep.
There we go.
Yeah, you're right. I wasn't. You know what? Now
Yeah.
that you said it, I wasn't 100% sure what he picked.
Yeah, because as soon as you said, I think I was like, well, did he? I don't know.
I
Anyway,
thought he made myself more clear. Obviously, I didn't, but
so to get rid of any kind of confusion, I like the under in this game. And this was, I picked this before I knew about all the arrests. But I looked at this game. Philadelphia consistently can score in the mid-20s. Jacksonville's all over the place. And if they don't start Blake Bortles, I don't know where they get their offense from. So it worries me that this is going to be the kind of game that Tony described, a grinded-out kind of game, like a 21-10, 24-14 type game. I'm taking the under 44, and I'm not touching this one with actual money, but for the contest purposes, I'm taking the under.
Well, with actual money, I have already made a bet on this, and it just, as the news keeps breaking, it makes me feel better and better about this. The disarray of the quote-unquote home team, Jacksonville Jaguars, makes me feel better about my Eagles moneyline bet that I caught at minus 155 that is now jammed up to 175, 180, at least on William Hill. So without much more being said, obviously that means I am going to then take the Eagles money line here in this spot as well. The NFL is wacky. I don't want to pretend like I know how to predict it, better than somebody else. I think Philadelphia money line is the safe bet here because Jacksonville could come up with some wacky-ass backdoor cover on a 4-point line. So laying the 4, as much as Jacksonville's in disarray, Philadelphia is still not that good of a football team right now. So it doesn't really make me feel good to have to lay 4 points on the road and on the road across the pond against a team that actually has more experience playing across the pond. And yes, I did say it last week. As much as I love Blake Bortles, he is not a starting quarterback in the NFL. However, on his own team, someone has to start this game. And I believe that if I'm correct, Blake Bortles was not one of the ones arrested in the nightclub incident, nor was he ruled out this game. So anything wacky could happen in this spot. I'm surprised you guys took the under, given the fact that Jacksonville is missing 4 potential starters, and who knows what's going to happen with these other guys.
I'm on Philly against the spread.
No, well, you talked about the under.
I did. I still like the under, yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm not saying that it's not a bad pick. I'm just saying surprised with all of the incidents and shit that's swirling around this game. I'm surprised that you guys do like the under, given that Philadelphia and Carson Wentz, they're at a spot right now. They're 3-4. They need a victory, and obviously, I know in the NFL, a 1-point victory is just as sexy as a 50-point victory. But
Absolutely.
I feel like this is a game where Doug Peterson may need to light a firecracker under his team's ass because they look very mundane. And last week against Carolina, they celebrated a little too early, starting in the fourth quarter instead of actually celebrating when they had won the game. So I'm gonna lay the money line again. That was long-winded, but I'm gonna take Philadelphia money line in the spot and just kind of feel pretty comfortable. Maybe take a couple hour nap here and wake up and watch it with my Budweiser tea.
I'll probably stay up all night and catch it like I did the last week game. So
cool beans, bro. All right, well let's. I don't know. He just felt needed to add that. So. Let's see, where are we going to go here? Let's whatever they got on the docket here. We got Washington going to the New York Giants, who that was I don't mean to brag or gloat or disrespect, especially since I said that he shouldn't do it, but that was a very satisfying cover backdoor on Monday night against you guys. No.
Yeah, I was thinking that when you said wacky backdoor cover, that was probably you were licking your chops about last Monday too.
Yeah, I believe I texted you with that gentleman is a Giants cover.
Yeah, I think that was your words, and then you made it even worse by yesterday's baseball game. So.
Oh, yeah, you are officially now a jinx. I am convinced.
That was
of this.
gross. Yeah.
That was disgusting.
Yeah, game 3 that lasted.
Should we tell the listeners the story?
Nah, I'm good. That just takes too long. We only have an hour in this podcast, so.
Just know that Aaron's a dick. Let's move on.
Just know that I'm a little clairvoyant when it comes to Yasiel Puig at bets. And who was the other one? Max Muncy at bets. Anyways, Jacksonville. Or no, we're done with Jacksonville. Washington. Y'all got me thrown off. I'm thinking about baseball now. Washington and the Giants. The line currently is opened up and stays at Washington -1. I'm looking on Vegas Insider. It's a little bit of pick'ems. It's a little bit of Washington -2.5. I see it a little everywhere, but we're going on covers lines. Washington -1. Total right now live is 44. You got the 4-2 Skins leading the NFC East. They're getting 2/3 of the action right now against the lifeless Giants, who are 0-3 at home, 0-3 at home against the spread. 1-6 currently on this year. They've traded Harrison. They've traded Apple. And not the stock, but they've traded the actual cornerback Eli Apple. Is there any? I mean, they're only laying one. They're only getting 1 point in this spot. It seems like a weird line here.
It does to me. I mean, how Washington's played this year so far has been pretty damn good. I mean, they're leading the division. They're out for blood in divisional games. It's hard to go against for sure. Total, don't really like it. Don't really hate it. I would lean towards taking the over.
Just make a pick, dude.
But I'm gonna take Washington minus the.
This is
1.
why we don't know who the hell you picked.
I'm gonna take Washington as my pick -1.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that we got to look at too, it's not just that Washington is playing well and leading the division. It's that Washington has played really good teams, and the only game that they were out of it was against the Saints, where they lost 43-19. The only team that they have played that's bad, I mean real bad, is Arizona. In that game, they won 24-6. Arizona reminds me a lot of the New York Giants, where they have, pieces in certain aspects of the game, but they don't have a full complement of good defenders or good offensive players or good skill position. So I think we're going to see a game very similar to that game that they played in Arizona the first week of the season. Redskins won that game 24-6. I could see something like a very similar, like a 30-10, 30-14 type game. Redskins -1, I think, is pretty much a slam dunk here.
Like a lock slam dunk?
No, not a lock. I get a lock later on.
All right, fair enough.
I get a chicken shit lock. I'm telling you that much.
Yeah, you know me, I like to play around with the Giants and try to figure out where and when they're actually motivated to play football. And I've been right on them a couple times, like last week in Atlanta, and I've been completely wrong on them a couple times, like Thursday night against the Eagles. I believe that was 2 or 3 weeks ago. This is a funky line. 1 point for a 1-6 team that can't figure out what they want to do. They don't want to move on from Eli because it doesn't benefit them because there's nothing in the cupboard. And you have a team with Washington who is winning. I wouldn't say with smoke and mirrors. They're just, like you said, they're a good team. They play fundamental, safe football. And sometimes that works, like you said, against Green Bay and against other teams like Carolina. And then sometimes it doesn't work and they get their doors blown in like New Orleans. I don't think New York Giants, their offense is as dynamic as the New Orleans Saints. So it was hard for me to really pick this one. Like you said, safe money. You guys are both on the 1. So, I mean, my safe money was money line on this spot, which is pretty much the same as the 1. But, I'm not going to change it, I guess. So I was going to say I would just jump on the 1, but I'm not going to change it because that just makes us a consensus pick and really throws this game out the window. So I'd actually like to just take the money line in this spot because if they do win by 1, I get the point and you push.
Oh my
Plus,
God.
my picks were in and documented before you even came around. So it's not like
that is true.
it's not like I'm changing my picks.
You
No,
just sent
you're
me
fine.
the picks hours ago.
No, you're fine.
That's
My
fine.
picks came in at 6:43 p.m. to Spike's laptop.
Yes.
So, all right, I got Seattle and I got Detroit. Token, your Lions are favored by 3 in this spot. Live line currently 48.5 on the total. Action pretty much even both ways. Nothing I really see in terms of the Lions. They just picked up Snacks Harrison, which we just talked about, getting traded away from
The Giants.
the
yeah.
Giants. Nothing I see really detrimental to them in the injury report here.
Zeke Lance is, I think, questionable. But, I mean, he's been out.
Questionable seems like he's going to play.
Yeah, he'll probably suit up, start, and might be a little limited on the gameplay, but
Yeah, you got Russell Wilson, you got Matt Stafford. Both teams are playing pretty average right now. I mean, Detroit started out slow and it's kind of ramped up right now. They're 3-3. You got Seattle, who started out slow, and I believe they started out 0-2, and they're 3-1.
yeah.
So
Two similar teams going at it.
yeah, and you got equal action here. You got the Lions, who are 5-1 against the spread. You got the Seattle Seahawks, who are 3-2 against the spread. Spike, you'll start this one.
So yeah, you're right. These are two teams that are kind of similar in the way that they're built. But I'm looking at Detroit and 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 games, following an against the spread win. Lions are 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 games overall, 6-0 against the spread in their last 6 against the NFC, and 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 home games. This line isn't big enough to scare me off any of those trends. I'm actually sticking with the Lions here, minus the 3 at home. I think this is a good spot for them, and I think that they can win even against your boyfriend, Aaron.
Dreamy.
I know how much you love Russell Wilson's sweaty asshole after a game, but this is.
Is that why he sounded like what he did last week?
Yeah, I think this is Detroit's game to win, and the 3 is fine with me.
Yeah, I tried to play it off as a hooker's asshole, but really it was RW3's asshole.
Yes.
Russell Wilson Jr. the third. Anyways, go ahead.
I think these two teams are evenly matched. I just think Detroit just plays better at home than Seattle does coming east of the Mississippi. I believe Detroit wins this game 27-17. Give me Detroit. Surprisingly, minus the 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Self-loathing Detroit fan actually takes Detroit.
All right, well, I guess I got a chance to pick up another point here. I like a close battle that's going to go back and forth in terms of lead changes all day. No, he does not like that. I'll play a little Tony here. The total, I like the over. However, that's not my pick. My pick is Seattle covering the 3. And actually, that's my pick, Seattle, but they're actually going to win this game outright. But I'm going to be safe and take the 3 points. I got to play it safe a little bit this week, especially since I'm down by 3. So, yeah, give me Seahawks, give me the 3 points, and I might sprinkle a little bit on the money line for a personal gain. All right, we got Tampa Bay, we got Cincinnati. Cincinnati coming off a pretty embarrassing loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. I believe they lost, 55-10 or 45-10?
Yeah, 45-10, and then they lost against the Steelers the week before.
Yeah, so they're kind of hitting a slide in their schedule right now, but they're facing a team which I don't think I've ever used this in NFL before, but they're facing a team coming off an embarrassing win. And that's the Tampa Bay Bucks, who needed every bit of 59-yard field goal to beat the Browns at home after blowing a 2-touchdown lead in the fourth quarter. So the line opened up with the Bengals a 6-point favorite and has been pounded down. The current line is 3.5, total 54.5 right now, live line.
Where are you seeing 3.5? I got 4 on covers.
I see 3.5 on covers.
I see 3.5, yeah. I'm on covers. You go to odds and matchups, or do you go to schedule?
I went to, let's see.
I go to scores and matchups.
Scores and matchup.
Let's refresh here. Hold on. Let's hit the refresh button, see if we get something that you don't, or that we get something that you got.
I see 4 now.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, suck it! Actually, that's bad for me because I have Cincinnati -4.
Okay, well then that's been updated. Cincinnati opened up as a 6-point favorite, is now live at -4. Total still hasn't moved, correct? I mean, I'm still seeing 54.5.
54.5.
All right, cha-cha-cha. We got 3-3 versus 4-3. We got Tigers versus Pirates. And Anthony, you're the leader of the Butt Pirates. I mean, excuse me, sorry. You can take this one first.
Ahoy there, matey.
Yeah, Butt hoy there, matey.
Everything screams Cincinnati -4. I'm going to take Cincinnati -4. I think they get up to a quick start. Total seems about pretty spot on. They win this game by about a touchdown. So,
and Spike, why couldn't the underage pirate see the movie?
I know the answer to this, but I want to embarrass you and make you say the punchline, so go ahead. Why couldn't the underage pirate see the movie?
Because it was rated R. That's hilarious. You guys don't know comedy.
It was hilarious because you're the one that's saying it.
Why, do I have a patch? Do I have a wooden leg? Spike, make your pick. It was funny, damn it.
Yeah, Cincinnati -4. No, I'm with Tony on this. I think Tampa Bay is rotten. I think Cincinnati is...
Bring back Fitzmagic.
Yeah.
Still think he should be the starter, but he's not going to be.
Cincinnati, the loss against Pittsburgh was tough. The loss against Kansas City was expected. I'm not going to read too much into that one. Even though they did kind of get their doors blown off, I still think Tampa Bay is so goddamn bad that Cincinnati covers the 4 pretty easily.
Well, it looks like we've got a consensus pick because even I liked it at 3.5. I still like it at 4 because, like you said, Tampa Bay is about to go into some cold weather, which does not favor Jameis Winston, nor does actual playing football against a quality opponent favor Jameis Winston either. So, yeah, I'll take Cincinnati -4, and I guess we can pretty much throw that one out the window for him.
Yep, that's worthless.
Yep.
Oh, God, this line's moved, too, since I put in the picks.
Yeah, I see this one, too.
The Jets in Chicago?
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. It has moved a whole point. Actually, half a point.
I got it as a full point.
Let me refresh just to make sure that it hasn't moved again. I have it currently at -9.
Yeah.
Is that what we're saying?
I see, yeah.
All right, we got Jets and Bears, Chicago -9. Let's see. Live total is 42.5, which that's jumped down 3.5 points. So we got a lot of movement on this game. Really wonder what's causing that movement. I'm trying to get a little bit of information here, but
it's got to be at least in part to Bilal Powell with the neck injury
he can't
last
mean
week.
3 points though.
No, he can't mean 3 points, but he can mean
Darnold
half
with his
to
injury
a point.
and
Yeah. I mean,
But yes, Bilal Powell kind of hurts the running game, which if they really had running game to begin with.
They had him and what's
Crowell,
his name?
yeah.
Yeah, Crowell. So the two of them were putting up yards. They were making plays. The problem was you can't run the ball when you're down 40 points like the Jets usually are.
Yeah, I think Robbie Anderson, who's the number 1 receiver, being doubtful, and Tremaine Johnson, who's their number 1 cornerback, also being doubtful. Probably doesn't feel too good with that. You got Morris Claiborne, their other cornerback, questionable this week. And let's see what we got for Chicago right now. We've got that's the wrong team. I'm like Sean Lee doesn't play for
Trubisky's
Chicago.
questionable, but every quarterback's questionable.
Trubisky's going to play, yeah. Khalil Mack's questionable as well. Allen Robinson's questionable, but I have a feeling those guys are going to go. So in this spot, you have the Jets who are banged up, and you have the Bears who actually, I mean, they got back-to-back losses. They really need to get back on track, and sometimes that puts pressure on a young coach and a young quarterback. And I mean, no matter who you're playing, even if it is the Jets who are having issues right now, you know, you have the Jets whose attitude right now is really at this point, I mean, they're 3-4. They don't feel like they're out of a playoff spot. But at the same time, even if they don't feel like that, they can still play spoiler to other teams, even in the NFC, is playing. You know, this could be a real big loss if Chicago falls to 4-4, especially in that division.
Absolutely, this would be a stunning blow to Chicago, and
Stunning blow.
yeah, I mean, I don't see
I'm
it
going to say to a
happening.
hooker one night. I'm just going to give her money, and she'll be like, how was it? And I'll be like, stunning blow. Sorry.
If anybody would be so gracious as to drag me away from this podcast and to put me on your own, please contact me.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure if you made him a financial offer, it would be better than ours.
Fair point. I don't see Chicago losing this game. I think it'll be tighter than people think. I like the over in this spot, though.
Oh.
Yeah, I think with it going down especially, I think both teams can put up points even with a hurt Darnold. And I think the Bears' defense gives up some crucial yards to give that over a good shot. So
what's your pick?
the over 42 and a half.
I'm sorry. I'm still confused when you make picks.
Yeah, he needs to say it about 3 or 4 times.
Over 42 and a half.
Okay, good. We got
So
it.
Jets keep it close within the 9, and then but the total, I'm like, I was just lost again. So, all right, Spike, let's have an easy pick from you where we know what it is.
So, I you know what? I'm just going to say it up front. I'm taking the Jets plus the 9. One of the things that I was reading was talking about the game last week in Minnesota where the Jets kind of got blown out. But they were only outgained by about 53 yards, and 9 points scored by Minnesota came on drives totaling 29 yards because of 4 turnovers from the Jets. So if the Jets are able to minimize mistakes, then I think they can keep this game close like they should have done last week. I think plus 9 is a good window for them to kind of sneak in there. I'm taking the plus 9 on this.
All right, I'm using my biggest spread of the week theory, but only because I'm lopping off the Monday night game.
I was going to say, because this clearly isn't the biggest spread of the week.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure this is still the biggest spread.
Well,
with
Denver
the
and Kansas City
Rams.
has jumped up to 10, but
When it opened up, it was like the 5th biggest spread of the week.
all right, fine, whatever. Fuck off. Then I'll void that theory. I debunked that myth, and basically I'm taking the Jets, especially when I liked them at 8. I liked them at 8.5. Now I feel like I gotta like them at 9. I think they're going to do just enough. Chicago's offense is pretty dynamic, but I think the New York Jets defense is pretty good. It's good enough to keep this into a relatively close game. I think the Jets find a way to blow it at the end when they're going. I'm going to say they blow it on a game-tying touchdown drive. Darnold throws a pick. So if you want a score
I
prediction,
hope you're wrong about that, but
well, I'm sure you hope I'm wrong because now. I have the 9 and you have the total. One of us has a chance to actually make up. Spike's hoping that the total doesn't hit because he can't catch a point on me in this spot. So
Yeah.
Something weird. I think it's going to be like 27-20, 28-21, something like that. So. All right, so where are we at here? We got Detroit and Kansas City. This is the non-Monday night biggest spread of the weekend now.
Detroit and Kansas City?
What'd I say? Whatever. Fuck, dude.
No, you said Detroit.
Oh, Denver and Kansas City. All right. Denver and Kansas City. You can host this podcast, damn it. That shit would go real off the rails. I'll tell you what, I'm going to turn this mic down. I'm done. Go ahead.
Yeah, there we go.
Talk about wacky backdoor covers.
Yeah, you like it in your backdoor cover.
Yeah.
Didn't you just shut your mic off? Why are you trying to crack jokes if you're not able to actually be
Oh, my
heard?
bad.
All right, Token, go ahead.
No way.
We'll leave him out of this.
Fair enough. Denver going to Arrowhead, playing the Kansas City Chiefs. I believe this one hits perfectly right on that 10 number. Spread's currently at 10. Total's currently at 53.5. Give me the over.
Well, I'm glad he actually articulated that because Otherwise, I wouldn't know what fucking way he was going on this. I don't think Denver is a good football team, and I think their record is deceiving. Even with Kansas City being historically bad on defense, I think they can outpace Denver dramatically in this game. -10 doesn't scare me at all. Kansas City minus the 10. I like this one quite a bit. Aaron, you're up. Good. Actually, that's more insight than we've ever gotten from him, so I'm glad we got that. So,
I'm trying to find a appropriate way to express that I'm flipping you both off, but we're on a radio, or we're on podcast, so no one can actually see that. So.
Right.
Well, it looks like Token and I have a classic battle for 1 point here. I am taking the under 53.5 in this spot. I do not believe Denver is going to go on the road and have a shot to score a point. I believe this game could be 35-10, which is in favor of your spread there. But I'm going to take the under in this spot. I think Chiefs blow out the Broncos, but not enough to get to that total by themselves or get to that total with Denver's putrid point output this Sunday. All right, we've got Baltimore at Carolina. This is a game... This is kind of a statement game for me with the Ravens. They're 4-3 at this point in a division where 4-4 could still be in a good spot, but if the Bengals, who have an easier opponent, and Pittsburgh, who has an easier opponent, both win, it puts them behind the 8 ball. So you got Baltimore at Carolina. Carolina 4-2 this year. Currently, this line has made an interesting move as well. The line opened up at Pick'em and has since moved to the road favorite Ravens. Do we have any knowledge on why that may be? I mean, it just the money seems even, or the action seems even, 55-45, and the money's actually, the line's actually going towards where the less action. Let me slow that down. The action's 55-45 in favor of Carolina, but the line's moving in favor of the team with getting less action.
That's at the current line that it's currently at is how the money's going in. Yeah, I mean, Carolina gained 2.5 at home against a good Baltimore team this year. Good defense. I do like Carolina. I do like the under. I like Carolina more. Give me Carolina plus the 2.5.
Yeah, live line total currently at 44.
Yeah, and I'm unfortunately on the same side of this as Token. Carolina plus the 2.5. I like the fact Carolina is a home dog playing against Baltimore that, as good as their defense is, I don't know, they didn't impress me in that Saints game. If they're going to be that good, you got to shut down Breeze more than his performance last week.
Yeah, because people have been doing that for decades now.
Yeah, well, why not? I mean,
People shut down the NFL's all-time leading passer and future Hall of Famer.
People keep saying that you can do that to Brady, so what are you going to do? No, I think Carolina is going in the right direction at this point. I think they got momentum, especially after that comeback win last week. I think getting 2.5 points at home is just too good of a spot to pass up, so I'm taking Carolina.
Well, there's another shot where somebody's going to get a point. Well, you can't really advance on him, but you can advance on me. I like the road favorite in this spot. However, I'm just going to take the money line. I'm just going to play it safe. I'll take the Ravens at, I believe they're minus 140 right now. However, I do believe this game will be either tied or very close coming down the stretch, and I believe Justin Tucker is going to have a chance to redeem himself to win the game in this spot. So give me Baltimore's money line, and we'll move on to Cleveland and Pittsburgh. Which, well, I guess the picks will kind of lay that out, but do any of us believe that these are the same Cleveland and Pittsburgh teams that we saw in Week 1 in the torrential downpour that finished with a tie?
They're the same, but in a different situation.
Oh, please elaborate.
I mean, the weather should be much clearer in that situation. It's in Pittsburgh this time. I mean,
Tyrod Taylor's not playing.
Yeah, but
Josh Gordon doesn't exist.
But similar
Carlos
city
Hyde
atmospheres.
Sure. All right. Well, I gave him a chance to elaborate, and he did. So.
Yeah. No, that was insightful.
All right. We got even action both ways. Pittsburgh is an 8-point favorite. Line currently 48.5. We have 2-4-1 is Cleveland. We have 3-2-1 is The Pittsburgh Steelers, teams trending in two different directions, but one team covers the spread a little bit better, and that's the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm going with here. I think, and I base this on nothing except an eye test, I think Cleveland is in Roethlisberger's head. And to me, it just seems very unusual. Plus, Pittsburgh is still dealing with the fact that they have the Le'Veon Bell media circus to deal with. I don't think that this is a game where Pittsburgh can blow them out at all. I'm taking Cleveland plus the 8 in this spot.
Yeah, give me the Browns as well. I think even if they somehow lose this game, I don't think it will be more than a touchdown.
I think Pittsburgh is done caring about Le'Veon Bell, the player, the rostered players, and probably Mike Tomlin at this point. They've gotten they're 3-2-1 without him. They've got a back in James Conner who's not Le'Veon Bell, but who is probably he's a poor man's Le'Veon Bell. He gets you about 3/4 of the actual production of Le'Veon Bell, and he does it for a very, very marginal fraction of the price.
10th of the value.
Maybe more than that. I don't know. I mean, he's a 4th round. He's on a rookie contract. He's a 4th round running back. He could be making $500,000 at this point, and they're trying to figure out whether this guy's going to sign a $14 million tender. I think about week 5 when Pittsburgh kind of turned it around against, maybe like week 4. When did they play Tampa? Was that week 3 or 4?
I want to say that was week 3.
Okay, so week 3 they decided they held on for a victory. They've kind of rolled. They've obviously haven't lost since then, or they've lost one game since then. Excuse me. But I believe at some point during that couple-week stretch, they finally just said, you know what, fuck Le'Veon. If he comes, he comes. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But I think they're going to blow out this team. I think I'm seeing like 31-10, 31-14. I like Pittsburgh. I liked him at 8.5, but the line apparently moved down to 8, so that makes me feel, that gives me the hook. So it gives me at least a pushing opportunity with the 8 points. Give me the Steelers with the 8, laying the 8, or however you want to look at it, and I will feel comfortable about that. Not comfortable enough to make it my lock of the week, though. Here's the toilet bowl. One team I'm very interested in, and one team I'm only interested in to see how they can keep making matters worse. And that's the Colts and the Raiders. The Colts are traveling to Oakland, and I think the Raiders will be there too, but I'm not quite sure. The current line is actually Indianapolis -3. The total is 51. You got a 1-5 team. You got a 2-5 team. One team, like I said, we've talked about Indianapolis on all the podcasts. I don't need to go down into that road. We've read all the Captain Andrew Luck tweets, etc. And you got one team who looks legitimately like they're preparing for Vegas, which is still 2 years away. So, what are we looking for in this spot with the Colts being 3-point favorites going into the black hole?
I'm surprised it's only 3 in my mind. I mean, I'm surprised. I believe Indy goes in there with the mindset, we've got to win this game, we got to win this game, we got to blow them out, we got to blow them out. And Oakland's like, let's just sit there and give up some points.
Kick in the butt.
Yeah. Give me Indy -3. I don't see any other way.
Yeah, I don't see the notion of we've got to blow them out because, again, this is the NFL. A 1-point victory works just as well as a 50-point victory. I think Indianapolis has to go with the thought is we're better than this team. We're going to run the ball with Marlon Mack. We're going to basically play to the strengths of our offense against the weaknesses of their defense, and that's the front seven. Marlon Mack is back. He's going to shoulder a load for Andrew Luck, and I think that Indianapolis is going to walk away with this with the intention of staying healthy, getting to 3-5, and realistically, I don't think they're worried about a big victory. They could get a big victory. I mean, if they run the offense effectively, I'm going to take Colts money line in this spot.
I forgot to mention that was my lock of the week.
Oh, lock of the week is Colts -3.
Yeah, I didn't actually put it into the system, so.
Were you sleeping?
Probably do that. Yeah, kind of nodding off and not really paying attention.
Cool.
Yeah.
And now we turn it over to Justin Turner's ugly brother. And he's pretty ugly.
Yeah, he is. So I'm on Indy -3 in this game. Indianapolis is averaging 21 points a game this year, 27 points a game this year. Oakland's only at 18 points a game. Luck's got 20 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. Derek Carr also has 8 interceptions, but he only has seven touchdowns to go with it. I think this is a game where Indy can get up, by a touchdown, maybe 10 points early, and then kind of use Mac to run the ball, kill the clock. I don't think Oakland gets a chance to even get back in this one. Give me Indy minus the 3.
All right, well, pick up a little sneaky play to get a point there. If Oakland loses by 2.
Yeah.
All right, we got the.
Let's see. We'll see if they can even manage to play the same sport tomorrow, because I'm not sure that's Oakland's priority at this point.
That's true.
Who scores more, Oakland's soccer team or Oakland's football team at this point?
Does Oakland have a soccer team?
No, but I'm sure they score more, though.
They might, yeah. It's fair enough, yeah. All right, so we have what I would call the game of the week of the afternoon slate. I mean, that's pretty easy to say. You got Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers traveling to Los Angeles to face the undefeated Rams, who, correct me if I'm wrong, without looking at their schedule, have the Rams been tested at all?
Seattle partially.
Oh, yeah, Seattle. Okay, that's fair enough. But hasn't been much to really...
In Denver, I would say, under the conditions.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So we got the 8-point spread here in favor of the LA Rams. We have 7-0. We have 3-2-1. And nothing's really trending towards Green Bay. The only thing that is all the action coming in on +8 right now.
Yeah, Lions currently at 8. Rodgers has been a dog of 6 or more points 4 times prior, and he's 4-0 against the spread. And I believe he was one of those outright. I think they keep it closer than what the spread indicates. Give me Green Bay plus the 8. I think they lose by about a touchdown, but not the full 8.
So this is my chicken shit lock of the week. I'm taking the Rams money line.
Oh my God! I hope Green Bay wins.
If Green Bay wins, I
want a tweeted picture of your house, your living room, and what it would look like after you lose this lock of the week.
Yeah, well, that's the problem.
Well, no, the worst would be is if he took New England money line.
I am taking New England money line, but we'll get to that later. But the problem with the Green Bay game is that it's going to end about half an hour before puck drop on the Knights game, which I'm going to. So I'm not actually going to be home. I'm not actually going to be able to throw things around a bar at New York, or wherever.
So what we should do is we should go
down to.
You said about half hour before puck drop.
Yeah.
So we should go to the game tomorrow, and I think right during the national anthem, you'll hear "fuck"
instead of night.
Yeah, and gave proof through the God damn
it. Accurate. So
yes,
the Rams,
nailed it.
I think Green Bay has been kind of holding on. Aaron Rodgers can do magical things, but he can't do everything by himself. I think the Rams can take advantage of that. Defense is better, offense is better, special teams are better. Rams should fucking well better win this game outright.
All right, well, they better. You got the lock you got the lock and key. I kind of went the other way with this spot. I'm going to use this as my blind bet, and I am going to take Aaron Rodgers and Patrick and his khakis from State Farm and whatever that commercial is. Have you seen that commercial? The new one? He's like, with the agent and the state. Have you seen that? Any of those? There's like 3 of them. You've seen them, have you?
I've seen a few, yeah.
Anyways, all right, I'm not going to go into it if you haven't seen them, because they may not make sense.
Hey.
Oh, God, that's
And welcome to our advertising podcast, where we're going to talk about the latest trends in commercials now, apparently.
Check out these new tie bars.
Packers +8, blind bet. Moving on. San Francisco at Arizona, the game I know you're all dying, waiting on bended knee to hear about. The 1-6 Cardinals versus the 1-6 San Francisco 49ers.
This is the game of the week to me.
Yeah, this is where Joe Buck and Troy Aikman should do all of their broadcasting. Just every week, just broadcast this game, because that's where we want them, on a channel we're not watching.
This is a game going to be like my pick. It's going to be my blind bet of the week, because I probably ain't going to even watch a snap of this game.
So is that how you determine a blind bet? Which game am I not watching? So you got Arizona opening up as a pick'em with San Francisco. Now the line has moved. The line has moved to San Francisco -1.5, even action. 1-6 versus 1-6. That's about all the analysis I want to do on this game.
Yeah, blind bet, Arizona plus 1.5.
Well, we're not getting.
Yeah,
No one's getting any leeway from that because I'm taking Cardinals plus 1.5 as well.
yeah, and to me, whoops, I hit the wrong thing here.
Whoops, he's changing all of his picks.
Yeah, that's what I should be doing because I'm clearly terrible at this. No,
Speaking of, I mean, I don't mean to go off on a tangent here, but how did fading yourself go?
using the reverse system, I got 0, which is better than
Actually, that is better than
the -8 I put up the week before.
Fair enough. True that. So
it worked out, I
Kinda.
guess. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
It was marginal.
Yeah, I'm going the other way in this game. San Francisco minus the 1.5. I just think that the San Francisco quarterback is playing than any quarterback play I've seen out
What's
of
his
Arizona.
name?
Beathard. And
So he was like, if you can't name him, you can't make that pick.
no, and I didn't want to name him because he's not worth talking about because he's not good.
I like his
But-
name to be beat hard.
But he's better than anything that Arizona has. And I don't know. Arizona's kind of in disarray to me. I don't like this team at all. I don't want to touch him. I don't want to go near him. Just take the San Francisco, take the minus 1.5, and move on with my life.
All right, so we got the Arizona Cardinals and Spike's back in the 49ers and teenage puberty man.
What?
Beat hard.
Oh, God.
No? All right, I thought it was good.
Let's go. Move.
All right, just go. Sunday night, Minnesota, New Orleans. You got Drew Brees in all his holy glory, but apparently Spike thinks he can be stopped at any point they want. Another line mover. Minnesota opened up 2.5. They're now a home dog of 1 point. Action pretty even. You got 5-1 Saints, who are 5-0 after losing to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Week 1. And you have the Minnesota Vikings, who are 4-2-1. Been on a little bit of a roller coaster this season. Doing all this without Dalvin Cook. At this point, I think Dalvin Cook's basically Le'Veon Bell in Minnesota at this point. Not that he wants to be away, it just seems like everything keeps keeping him away. So, all right, Minnesota, 1 point dog in the Dome.
Yeah, I hope the Saints win. I hope the Saints win. I hope the Saints win. I'm taking the over in this one.
He hopes the Vikings win. All right, you.
Over. All right. No, I am taking Minnesota. When I was picking this, it was a pick'em bet. It's moved to the +1. I think I'm just going to take Minnesota money line in this spot. I don't know that that's the right pick. I think New Orleans has maybe theoretically could be a little hell-bent on revenge for the playoffs last year, and I think that Minnesota can use that to their advantage. And I think they can take a little bit of time off the clock with Kamara and just or no, not the Minnesota.
Ingram?
Yeah, that's
Latavius Murray.
Murray. That's it. Jesus Christ,
You'll get there.
Going all over the place here.
It's okay, Gritty.
At least they named a player that was currently on the field.
Yes, thank you. It's not Adrian Peterson.
yeah,
I
they
know
can
that
pace
much.
the action with Deuce McAllister.
Yeah. So I think this is a good spot for Minnesota, especially at home. I'll take the money line.
All right, well, I liked the money line as well because it was a pick 'em when we made the picks, but anytime I can have a point, I'm just going to take a point. So I will take the Vikings plus the 1 point. You might as well have it. If I can bank it in my pocket, I'll take it.
Go Saints.
I know you're only rooting for them because the Lions. Well, if the Lions go 3-4 because they're going to lose to Seattle, then you're in a world of trouble. It doesn't matter about this game.
Well, we still have to play the Saints twice anyhow, so.
Why
Or
would you play the Saints twice?
The Vikings twice, goddammit.
We are on one today.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the Monday night matchup, the Spikes remote control game, because the New England Patriots are a 14-point favorite currently going into Buffalo, and the line is 44. This is a division game, but it's not usually one of the division teams that gives Brady fits. It's usually the Dolphins and the Jets. This is usually the extra bye week, and especially with, I believe, Derek Anderson's going to go again, this could be another bye week for New England, or a scrimmage, if you will. But nevertheless, they have to play football on the field because that's what you do. You play games on the field. So, is this game, initial thoughts without giving your picks, is this game going to be competitive, or is this game going to be a snooze fest?
Snooze.
I would lean towards snooze, but somebody's got to show up, so.
That's true. All right, now your picks.
Over.
Man, you have a lot of totals this week.
That's what I was saying before.
Yeah. Actually, you don't have a money line. We need you to switch one of your picks to a money line.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you need a money line pick.
Oh, let me. Can I do the blind and the money line in the same one?
Arizona money line?
Yeah.
That's fine.
All right.
He just lost himself a point and a half. Ooh.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That's all
It's
right.
my blind bet.
All right. Well, what do you have there, New England?
Yeah, I mean, this is... Tom Brady has more Super Bowl MVPs than he has losses to the Bills. I'm taking the Patriots money line as a blind bet.
What a pussy.
No, it's one of those spots where I know New England's going to win the game. I need the extra point because I am getting fucking demolished in this contest. So this is a spot where I thought it was pretty obvious I had to go in there. Yeah, and I mean, taking New England money line, obviously I'm not going to get rich betting something like that, but I can still make an extra point.
Lay the favorite.
Yeah.
Well, I can't ride you too hard because I'm taking New England money line lock of the week. Because I need the 2 points because this dumpster fire of a matchup between my Week 8 picks and Tony's Week 8 picks could go awry, and I'll take the points where I can get them, especially your lock of the week's pretty tough. Your lock of the week is Indianapolis, going on the road to the West Coast.
I know.
So I feel good about
I feel very confident in my pick.
All right. Fair enough. I told, when I texted Spike the picks, he basically, I don't want to sugarcoat it here, fuck you stealing my fucking Pats lock. And I said, fine, I'll take the Eagles money line for my lock, but give me 12 points. He didn't want to do that.
No, I did not. So I flip-flop my lock and my blind bet here. This is also, for the record, this is the first consensus pick that we have had, or not the New England game, the Cincinnati games. First time we've had a consensus pick since week 4.
I was about to say it's been 4 weeks or something.
Yeah, and that was Indianapolis -1 hosting Houston, and we lost that.
We all lost it.
We're actually 1-2 on consensus picks this year.
Well, nobody said we were good. That's why we offered the option to fade us.
Fade us, fade us.
Well, there's a few that we would have been on the same, but one of us took a total instead, or
took a money line instead of a
That's how consensus picks work, gentlemen.
yeah.
You all have the same pick. Which the thing is, consensus picks in this kind of contest kind of suck because you really theoretically can't gain or lose anything. So that's why I like having 4 straight weeks of only having one consensus pick. That's why the totals have moved so much that they have. All right, well, bold prediction of the week. Let's start with Craig Kimbrell over here.
Bold prediction of the week. Let me think. All right, Chicago gets exposed, and they're not as good as everybody believes they are.
I'm buying that. My bold prediction of the week: Detroit wins. They get tied top of the NFC North when Minnesota goes down.
Bold. All right, my bold prediction is on the road, Redskins lay an egg, and the Giants beat them for their second win of the year.
Cool. Thanks for taking Washington money line in that game.
It doesn't mean I want it to come true. I just think that's a bold prediction. There's a reason. That's a weird reason why that game's only 1 point. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out tomorrow or today, depending on when you're listening to this podcast.
Maybe they're benching Eli.
Yeah, I think
that is true. Last week, my bold prediction was that Eli gets benched. And I should have just said a starting quarterback gets benched because then I would have been right in Blake Bortles.
It's true. It's fair
Could
enough.
happen again this week.
Yeah.
It's fair enough. All right.
Yeah,
well,
maybe Mahomes gets benched.
Yeah, I don't see that one happening. I'll tell you what.
Well, they're up.
I'll tell you what. If you make that your bold prediction and it happens, I'll give you $10, and I'll give you 20.
I thought you were going to say 10 points.
I was going to say I'd rather have the points for this contest.
Ooh. What's your bold prediction?
I'm not going with that.
No, what's your bold prediction this week?
Chicago gets exposed.
Exposed and loses, or
exposed in that even if they win, they keep it close, and people start scratching their heads as to what the hell's wrong with them.
Ooh, I got an idea here. We got a couple minutes left in this podcast. Taking out all your picks aside, this will be worth 2 points or no points.
All right.
A team that's a favorite that you could see losing by 2 touchdowns or more. Pick a team that is a favorite that if they lose by 2 touchdowns or more, you get 2 points.
Oof. Oof.
Ooh, I like that.
Any favorite?
Any favorite that's on covers right now. So you got what is that? 12 favorites.
Okay.
How many games are there? 12 going on?
Probably.
Yeah, I believe so.
I got mine. It can be a favorite by 1 point. It can be a favorite by 10.
Right. That loses by 2 times. Jesus Christ.
Ooh, that's a good bold.
I mean,
Choice.
I assume that you brought this up because you have somebody in mind.
I have a couple teams in mind, but I have to narrow that down.
Okay.
I have 2 in my mind.
All right. I got.
And I got mine. So if you've got one, go ahead.
Baltimore.
Ah, you fuck. That's what I was going to take.
All right. Well, since I'll take Seattle. Or excuse me, Detroit's the favorite. I'll take Seattle to win that game by 2 or more touchdowns.
Okay.
You can be on the same side as me.
Yeah, you can. I mean, that would be kind of shitty.
No, I don't want to do
No,
that.
I don't care.
I do.
My other one was going to be San Francisco.
All right.
So you took San Francisco and Baltimore.
You're taking 2 picks?
No. My first one, which
Oh.
I'm going with.
You're taking Baltimore. I'm
Okay.
taking Detroit.
I kind of want to take Philadelphia in this spot.
Remember, you're not losing a point.
I know.
You're not risking anything. It's all...
It's the wackiness of
We
this.
just feel bad. We're trying to get you things.
I appreciate that. I'll say Cincinnati.
That was actually another one I was thinking of.
Yeah. Kind of a weird spot, especially with all of us taking Cincinnati minus the 4, but...
If they get beat by 14 at home, I'm going to shut the door on those guys. All right, well, let's thank the podcasters. Let's thank the sponsors, VGK, Pop Sockets, Chai Poker, and, of course, 12-Ounce Sports Radio for putting us on 4 times a week. These are our NFL picks. You can tail them, you can fade them. Not really quite sure what you want to do, but...
Maybe take a few to the window.
Yeah, take the tickets to the window, and hopefully we'll have a good Sunday.
Friendly reminder, don't rip up your tickets till the game's over.
You make that reminder like every other month.
This week, I have a feeling one of those crucial plays is going to be something that's going to be a fluke and cause a few people some mayhem. So.
Oh, you mean like the NFL every Sunday? Okay. Yeah, fair enough. All right, well, I want to thank Token Tony, I think. I want to thank your friendly neighborhood Gritty over here, or Spike McAwesome. And, of course, I'm your host, Aaron. We will catch you on the next episode, which will be Monday, which is tomorrow, if you're listening to this on 12 Ounce Sports Radio, where we recap the NFL and then talk about everywhere we went wrong with our picks.
Which is everywhere.
Yeah.
If we're still alive by
That's why I said everywhere, not anywhere we went wrong with our picks. So, anyways, once again, for Token Tony, for Spike, I am Aaron. We will catch you on the next episode.